Climate change has become a cause for concern since time immemorial. It causes many issues, but one of the scariest issues it has caused is natural disasters or its increase. Today we're diving into a topic that's been making headlines and causing much trouble: natural disasters due to climate change. Which disasters do you think are caused by climate change? Do you think climate change affects natural disasters? Is nature sending us a message through these disasters? As our planet warms up, we're witnessing an increase in extreme weather events that wreak havoc on our daily lives and the environment. From devastating hurricanes and wildfires to intense heat waves and flooding, the impacts of climate change are becoming much more apparent with each passing day. As time passes by, the climate crisis is only getting worse, so without further ado, let's discover what natural disasters are caused by climate change. At number 5, we have hurricanes. Let's talk about hurricanes. When it comes to natural disasters, hurricanes undoubtedly stand out for their immense power and ability to inflict widespread devastation. These monstrous storms originate over warm ocean waters, gathering strength and intensity. Given the current state of our warming climate, hurricanes are becoming more frequent and more severe. The rising temperatures of the seas serve as a fuel that propels these storms to higher levels of destructive force. As a result, they have the potential to leave behind a trail of destruction that's difficult to comprehend. The major contributor towards the increased frequency and intensity of hurricanes, sadly, is climate change. As greenhouse gas emissions continue to warm the Earth's atmosphere, the temperature of the ocean rises as well. This warming provides an ideal condition for hurricanes to form and intensify rapidly. Warm water is a primary energy source for these storms, enabling them to gather strength and unleash their fury upon coastal areas. As a consequence, hurricanes are not only occurring more frequently but are also becoming more potent and capable of inflicting substantial damage. A majorly concerning aspect of the impact of hurricanes is the amplified risk they pose to coastal communities due to rising sea levels. As global temperatures rise, glaciers and ice sheets melt, causing the oceans to expand. This expansion and influx of water from melting ice results in higher sea levels. Hurricanes usually create landfall, bringing about storm surges, powerful waterfalls, and inundate coastal areas. With higher sea levels, the destructive potential of these storms surges is magnified, as they can penetrate further inland, flooding previously unaffected areas. This amplification of storm surge impact significantly threatens humans' lives and critical infrastructure along the coast. So as you can see, the warming climate has become an enabler for hurricanes, intensifying their destructive potential and increasing frequency. The combination of rising sea temperatures and higher sea levels serves as a catalyst for the birth and escalation of these formidable natural disasters. The next disaster caused by climate change is, sadly, forest fires or wildfires. So at number 4 stands the wildfires, the flames of fury. Recently, wildfires have become a recurring nightmare in many parts of the world. You might have heard of the fires in the Amazon or the Australian wildfires. There have been a plethora of wildfires over the past few decades. Due to the rising temperatures and prolonged droughts, vegetation dries up. With these conditions, it becomes easier for the fires to ignite and rapidly spread across. And sadly, climate change is one of the main causes of fueling forest fires. As things get hotter and drier, it's like a recipe for disaster in forests and grasslands. They become super vulnerable to catching fire, and to make matters worse, strong winds swoop in to carry those flames across long distances. It's like trying to control a raging beast that's running wild. And let me tell you, the consequences are no joke. We're talking about lives lost, homes destroyed, and precious wildlife habitats reduced to ashes. It's a devastating sight to behold. The aftermath of these wildfires leaves scars on the land that takes ages to heal. We're talking about years, maybe even decades, for nature to recover and reclaim what was lost. This is a harsh reminder of how delicate our ecosystems are and how the balance can be disrupted quickly. However, climate change causes much more issues than a hurricane. Another disaster caused by climate change at number 3 is heat waves. Now, who loves the heat? Because I for sure love it when the weather is cool as a cucumber. However, as the temperatures have soared higher and higher due to climate change, the frequency of heat waves has increased exponentially. They occur frequently and even more intensely. The heat is not just about feeling uncomfortable and sweaty, it's a serious threat to our health, especially for those who are more vulnerable. We're talking about the elderly and folks with pre-existing medical conditions, and that is a cause for concern. When the heat becomes unbearable, our bodies struggle to cope. Dehydration, heat exhaustion, and the dreaded heat stroke all become too real. These conditions can be life-threatening and are not something to take lightly. It's more than just feeling overheated, it's a serious matter that can have devastating consequences. But the impact of scorching heat waves doesn't stop at our doorsteps. Oh no, it goes beyond that. Mother Nature takes a hit too. These heat waves set off a chain reaction like a series of dominoes tumbling down. They lead to droughts where the land becomes parched and water becomes as scarce as a needle in a haystack. That's bad news for farmers as crops wither and fail under the relentless heat. Imagine the impact on food production and prices, not to mention the strain it puts on local communities. And let's not forget about our furry and feathery friends. Wildlife habitats are thrown into disarray and our beloved critters struggle to find shelter and sustenance. The delicate balance of ecosystems is disrupted and we risk losing precious species to the unforgiving heat waves. So what can we do? We can't change the weather, but we can adapt and find ways to protect ourselves. We must stay hydrated, seek shade, and care for our vulnerable neighbors, especially the elderly and those with health issues. While heat can overpower us, rain can soothe us, but climate change can mess with the water as well, and let me tell you how. At number 2 we have floods, so let's dive into another consequence of climate change that's making our world go topsy-turvy: flooding. Now, while some places are sizzling under the scorching sun and facing droughts, others are dealing with something equally devastating: catastrophic floods. It's like the weather gods are playing a twisted game with us. You see, climate change has messed with the usual rainfall patterns. Instead of gentle showers, we're witnessing more frequent and intense rainstorms. The heavens open up and the rain comes pouring down like there's no tomorrow. The problem is, our drainage systems simply can't keep up with the deluge, and that's when things get messy. Flash floods become the new norm, wreaking havoc on our communities. The torrential downpours overwhelm our cities, turning streets into rivers and submerging homes and businesses in the blink of an eye. The damage is mind-boggling, and it's not just buildings and infrastructure that suffer. Lives are lost, communities are displaced, and the emotional toll is immeasurable. But it's not just inland areas facing the waterlogged nightmare. Our coastal regions face a much more pressing concern. Rising sea levels, thanks to climate change, join forces with storm surges to make matters worse. The result? Flooding on steroids. These coastal communities are at a higher risk and the damage is catastrophic. So how do we solve this issue? We can't control the weather, but we can prepare for it. It's time to invest in infrastructure that can withstand floods, early warning systems that can give us a heads up, and sustainable water management practices that help us navigate this watery chaos. We need resilient cities with robust drainage systems, flood barriers, and green spaces that absorb excess water. We need advanced technologies that can predict and warn us about incoming storms. We need to manage our water resources wisely, reducing waste and finding innovative ways to conserve and recycle. However, when it comes to natural disasters in this age of climate change, something keeps us up at night: the heightened unpredictability and uncertainty. The old rulebook of weather patterns and seasonal expectations has been thrown out of the window. Mother Nature is playing a wild game of hide and seek, and it's getting harder to anticipate and brace ourselves for the extreme events heading our way. It's like trying to hit a moving target while blindfolded. This erratic weather behavior poses immense challenges for emergency response teams and individuals. How can you prepare and protect yourself when you don't know what's coming? It's a tough nut to crack, but let's not lose hope just yet. Behind the scenes, climate scientists and meteorologists are working tirelessly to improve forecasting models and provide us with timely information. They are the unsung heroes fighting the battle against the ever-changing climate. Armed with their knowledge and cutting-edge technology, they strive to give us a fighting chance against nature's wrath. So what can we do? Well, we must continue to support scientific research, invest in better technology, and listen to the warnings and advice from the experts. We need to build resilient communities that can adapt to the changing dynamics of our climate. And most importantly, we must address the root cause of these challenges: climate change itself. It's time to take bold action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and transition towards a sustainable future. Yes, the road ahead is bumpy and the uncertainties may continue to loom. But with perseverance, innovation, and a collective effort, we can navigate this new era of unpredictable natural disasters. Let's stand strong, adapt to the changes, and show resilience in the face of shifting climate. Together, we can weather the storm. Let us know what other ways in which you think we can create a better world for the future. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you never miss an update. If you love this video, then we're certain that you will love this other one on our channel that answers the question, how many billions are going to climate change? Click the link on the screen to watch that one right now. Thank you for watching.